we're gonna need to make up of triple. Thank you for coming today. I mean, I know it's really cold outside and it's very difficult to attend, but we're doing this for the first time, and it's great to see that so many people showed up. So basically today we're gonna go through mainly core things about creating a company culture, going through recruiting, growth, and sharing both tough stories and inspirational stories of your teams. So I think it's important that we get to know each other in terms of what your companies are about, so we can have a better understanding of where people are coming from.
We have pCloud. pCloud is a cloud storage company. We started before 2 years. For 2 years we have more than 3 million users. We have some unique features related to our competitors, like desktop application of ours acts like a virtual drive, and you can extend the hard drive of your computers or the memory of your smart devices like tablets and smartphones. We have one more unique feature, which is encryption. We work very hard on security in the cloud, and we have a feature that called pCloud Crypto, which is client-side encryption. We encrypt the information on the computer or on the device of the users, and already encrypted files go to the cloud and stored there, and it's impossible to be decrypted without the crypto pass, which is known only by the user. And we are so sure in our survey that we started pCloud challenge, worldwide challenge, with at the beginning with $20,000 bounty for the hacker who
you were the company.
Yeah, who can
Right.
hack our system. 3 months later, with more than 2,200 hackers tried to beat us with 0 hacks, we expand the bounty to $100,000, and we are sure that nobody can take this money. We will maybe drink all of this money in the future. Maybe that's the beginning for our company. We have a lot of ambition to become maybe one of the top 5 cloud storage companies worldwide, and maybe top 3 in some local markets like emerging markets, Turkey, Bulgaria, Europe, and maybe South America too. And we are just at the beginning. We are still a startup with more than 42 guys in our company.
I'm leading the Bulgarian branch of I guess you could call it a consortium of marketing companies. It was started by my partner, who is also here in Bulgaria now, helping the branch. It started 12 years ago in Poland, and it was focusing mainly on NGO marketing and fundraising campaigns for different NGOs. 5 years along the line, they also created a digital marketing unit, which they grew there for the commercial sector. And then here, my partner, about 2 years ago, just decided to outsource all the design work to current clients in Holland, but soon realized, same as you did, that Bulgaria has very unique and good specialists that are underutilized, and that's where I came in. We joined forces, kind of bought my previous company, and now I'm leading a team of 10 already people, and we are officially rebranded as a content marketing agency, and we deal in complete marketing solutions purely for social and offline uses for our clients, including we started a Vine channel. So basically we're experimenting with different types of content, mostly visual, mostly different mediums. And yeah, we're managing the communication and brand building for different types of clients on the local market.
We are Enhancv, and it's me and Volan and Dimitar. We founded Enhancv 2 years ago. Yasmin, she was I think the 2nd employee in Enhancv, and she's responsible for a lot of the culture going on around Enhancv. our official mascot.
Yeah.
And what we're doing, we are making a new format for applying for jobs because we believe that people are not years of experience and fancy names on their CVs, but they're more than that. And we try to unveil the real person behind the resume. I'm calling it resume, not CV, because our primary market is the US. Like more than 70% of our users are from there. And so far we've had like amazing results. You have, I didn't know that it's on for 2 years. You made those users. We have about 50,000 users. And our goal is to help people unleash their full potential by not just working somewhere, but finding a place where they feel like home and where they can use their superpowers and talents to foster a much better company.
When you have certain people, how do you find that fit? That these candidates would be a great fit for that company.
For me, the first thing is that company culture. I don't think it's based on sameness of people. You're not looking for whether that person will fit with the other guys and will be able to be friends. So that means that to hire similar people. What you look at is the values, where they share similar values. Each company has values. We initially stated 8, but actually what we really are looking for are 3.
Could you give an example? What are these values?
We're calling it a friend of a company of friends, but it's naturally to be a good person.
Yeah.
Like this is one of to be willing to help and support other people. Like this is maybe one of the most important things because there are really a lot of, especially talented people who are they're hard to work with. And they're not really collaborative and they're single players, solo players. The other thing is impossible is nothing but attitude. Like definitely, like no one in the team says that's impossible. And because if you say that, you would never be able to do whatever you want to achieve. And I'm sure each of us wants to become not the number top 3, but I'm sure that you also want, like your real dreams are to be the number 1. And if you have people who constantly say that's impossible, that can happen, it eventually won't happen. Respectively, if you have people who are like, okay, we can do it, things happen.
Yeah.
I think those 2 are the most critical ones. And of course, ingenuity, like really smart people. I think this is, you can really easily distinguish between really smart, extremely smart people and smart people. It's like no brainer. And my advice is look for the extremely smart one.
In pCloud, like, do you have like certain set of values similar to what Georgi was talking about when you're recruiting new people or when you get applications? What is like the main thing that you look for?
Okay, when you pass through the information about the education, about the previous experience, that will become the information about the qualities of this person because you can learn a lot of things about about recruiter by seeing what are the hobbies of these people because the people who like to make some kind of sports, they are more passionate to work in team to achieve some things in life, in their job, in their work as well. And maybe this is the second thing after the education and the experience you see. But when you call them and ask for a meeting with them for the interview, maybe the most important thing is to find the light in their eyes. If you see this, if you can find that they would become more passionate about the product, about the team, about the company, it's the way that you have to go and to hire these people. because the experience and the knowledge and theory, etc., is something that you can achieve in the standards. If the people is not familiar with the product, not familiar with the sphere at all, and don't have this passion to achieve something, to work in team, it's impossible to put these people in the company and to wait from them to achieve anything about this company, about this product. But maybe I can share some more information about the beginning with our company, with the first recruitment. It was very difficult to hire good specialists in Bulgaria in a company with the name pCloud. So, who is pCloud? Okay, we have ambitions.
Was it because like people were looking for companies with status?
Yeah, they're looking for companies like known names like HP, like brands, etc. IBM, VMware, that stuff.
We had similar problems with that.
Yeah, which pCloud?
I think now people, like most people know, especially in your
At the moment, it's
yeah.
easier to hire
before that,
more
yeah.
specialists, but at the beginning it was very difficult to do this. And we maybe start with some junior staff, but they are so passionate, with more passion about the product. They want to work on a company to achieve something worldwide and to become a top company, not only in Bulgaria but worldwide. And that was the way that at the moment we have maybe 70% of the company, they came to us like a junior, and at the moment they are senior, and they still have this passion to work on this product, and they want really to go through all the competitors, all the features that we have to build in the future, and they want to make this great product. And this is the way, and this is the part of the culture that we're working on, and we want to not to do something which is okay, we want to have more than 10 million, 20 million users or something like this. We want to build a product which is very easy to use, very secure, and people like it. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
and that's the main idea, that's the passion inside of my colleagues, and they work like a family, like a team to bring this in the real life. So
Actually, we really don't have much of trouble recruiting people because our job is to entertain. Basically, we create content and we measure content. So by default, we have to be what we sell. So we, as a company, are very active on different social platforms. And most of the time when we're looking for a new person, it's usually from the creative industry. And we've already built a following in that industry. So whenever we need somebody, we just place an ad through our social media or through Beta House, we use quite a lot. And it's really easy. Sometimes, obviously, when we don't have somebody to recruit, people just come in. Like I've had CVs of, I think, marketing manager or director for Unilever for 5 years, people with extreme experience coming to us saying, hey, you look really cool, you look like you're a fun company to work at, I want to work with you. And some of the times we can't really offer anything at that specific moment, but it's crazy. It's the other way around.
Talking about structures, like, you know, for us, we started as a three-man team, and we pretty much knew what was happening, who was responsible. We knew each other very well in terms of what are the things we like and don't like. Inevitably, when you grow, you still want to keep that culture, but you also need to create a structure. Like, so for example, for you guys, how much of the founders team culture has been kept with the culture that you have right now as a team?
Although we have those CTO, CEO
Yeah.
labels, we are kind of flat structure. No one feels that there is a boss in the company. I've had bosses, and I think it's a stupid idea. And that hierarchy is making a really big gap between you and the people, and there shouldn't be such a gap because people are working much better when you're simply friends. Of course, you have to. Sometimes people underperform or make become late or whatever, and but you don't tell it in front of everybody. You just go and tell him hey. And it's like he was like a friend of his, like he's not just the boss, but like a friend of his told him, and he knows that it's not okay. And the next time he his own time. Like it's
Yeah.
it's interesting, but what we try to keep it as simple as possible and as fun as possible.
At the beginning, when we were less than 10 people, it was easier because all of us was kind of decision-making process and etc. But after we grow more than 15, 20 people, it became that we have to start to organize the company in some kind of structures, like R&D team, marketing, sales, and etc. In R&D teams, there's mobile team, desktop team, web, and backend team. And it was a kind of very strange and difficult for us to pass through this process because it was very unfamiliar for us and we didn't know how to do this. At the moment, with more than 40 people, we work like, maybe you know about the objective key results type of working in the company. I just set up the objective key the OKRs and the goals, and all the teams there work together to put all the tasks and all the goals that they want to achieve in the next 3 months to figure out all these OKRs that they have to work on. And it's easier even for me, even for the teams to clarify the task that they have to work on, and they put all the tasks by themselves, they organize the company and the teams by themselves, and they achieve all the goals they have to do. They have to achieve at the moment. But maybe when you go through 10 people to 25, it's the hardest part of the company because we are not already the 5 people that you can discuss everything and work together and to take decisions together. But after 15 people, it's some kind of structure you need to figure out because it's very difficult to put all the people in one mind and to put them one goal, and they have to work on this by like one goal. And it's kind of impossible. That's why you have to separate the teams to work separately, but at the same time to work directly to achieve the goal.
You've been talking about that, you know, you have a fun factor, like fun is really an important part of it. Like, what would be like the one thing that, in your opinion, you know, makes TriplePro?
Sarcasm.
Sarcasm?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Was that a sarcastic answer?
No, actually, I'm being completely honest here. My whole team is very sarcastic in the way they communicate with each other, in the way that they communicate with different people. I have a team who is very efficient in figuring out what's quality and what's not good quality content, and that's exactly because of the sarcasm that we have. Just to give you an example, this morning one of our team members had a birthday, and what we did as a team, as a family, all of us came to the company, including me, at 8 a.m. We blew out 100 balloons. We made a cake. One of our team members made a homemade vegan cake because, yes, we have vegans in the team. And we also printed out, I think, 50 different selfies, which we dug out from his social media, and we printed them all over the wall with sarcastic quotes on them. And the whole team, because we are right now baked on the 3rd floor in the team rooms, and we have glass windows, and when people started coming into the common room, everybody was like just looking at us. It was weird, but this is who we are. We're weird, we're sarcastic, and that's the factor.
Oh, I think that we have to really consider the fact that we have 2 or 3 girls in the team. So the fact that most of the team is boys definitely influences our team buildings and the way we communicate with each other, like going karting and like diving and rafting and extreme things.
We're really into extreme.
Really pushing the limits.
But actually, the guy that I told, the dark guy,
Yeah.
he has like his passion for the past 15 years is all kinds of extreme sports. And he said that if it doesn't kill you, it's not interesting. His philosophy, and actually, before that we haven't been to, like I have driven ATV one time in my life, and it was cool, but I didn't feel like that much. But when we went with him, he taught me how to make, how to treat, what we should do. And actually now we're writing all kinds of whatever can be written. And last time we, like in the beginning of January, we went to write small snowmobiles in the mountains. It was really amazing experience. On the top of the mountain, we stepped into under the snow. There was water, like 1 meter river. We just dropped down. Everyone was completely wet, but it's again a bonding experience. It's like I think that those experiences actually make us like stronger. And we have also a lot of dirty jokes.
Yeah.
Like, because of the boy factor, like I just go back from lunch and find a really big, nasty cock. It's from milk biscuits. He has made really incredible details.
Yeah.
And on my laptop, I just opened the laptop and hello, and like of course there are others as well, other jokes, but like dirty ones are they're funny, and you know, that's why we say that okay, we need girls in the team. She was for the past 4 months, she was in London, in UK, and we missed her. Especially for that. Because no one remembers when someone has a birthday or that kind of stuff. And the day she came back, she was, hey, today class has birthday, and there was, oh, we had to do something, like she went and bought cakes, like everything, and we were, okay, yeah, Yasmin, thanks for being here. Yeah, and I think she brings that balance factor in our team.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's
That's interesting because like obviously like you have more of that, you know, extreme like just dudes that like to get on with. Yeah. I mean in our case it's pretty much like that. Riley is a very fine lady, but she's not enough to contain us. Let's put it this way. How is pCloud on the strange, you know, scale? Like, you know, when you have like 0 to Enhancv and TriplePro.
You know, it's impossible to all the people to be in the same mood to like the same things, but maybe we can sing the happy birthday song in the worst way in Bulgaria. And we can make it the worst and the worst every time we try to do it with every birthday. We have maybe the best team, girls team by the way, Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and PlayStation. We are one of the best players in table tennis. We have a tournament in the company. We are maybe the best company in Bulgaria in soccer, maybe in Europe in the game Guess the Movie, because we are really before with one word we already know the answer of the game. So we entertain a lot we have a lot of drinks in the office.
I think this is crucial.
Yeah. Now that we know each other so well, I think it's and we have a more candid light. I think it's a great time to talk about tough moments. So, for example, swipes, like we've had several times where we have had like more difficult situations. The first time was when it was just the 3 of us, and we were going through the whole thing of like launching a product and like, you know, not getting results, not getting investment, and having this internal fight within the founding team. Luckily, like we prevailed and we came out even stronger. But having crises like that on a bigger scale, it makes it even more difficult. Unless you have the right culture and people really believe in what they're doing. So I'm really curious to hear stories about this company. I guess Tunio, you can start because you've been here for around, you know, the longest time. So
maybe the hardest and the tough moment is with the growing team. You have to keep the passion in the team. it's a kind of impossible when you're more than 25, 30 people, because you have to speak with all of them alone, face to face, to get feedback from them about the product, about the company, about the team, etc. And you have to manage to keep this passion, to keep this ambition from each of them, to be like a family and to go to achieve the goals they want to, because after some kind of the very enormous count of the people in the company, it's impossible to keep all of them to be with this passion like they are at the beginning in the company. It's kind of impossible, and some of them start to work like 9 to 5, 9 to 6, not to be interested in the product, not to be interested in the company, and to begin to work just for the salary or just for the job, not for the product. And this is maybe the hardest thing that you have to handle and to keep away from the company, because it's the beginning when the company is going down, and it's impossible to achieve the growth if you want to work with this kind of people in the startup.
Is it because people get too comfortable?
This is one of the reasons, and the second is that you don't have quite enough time to be face to face with each of them, and if you can't manage to find the right people for the middle management, as is the word, it's a kind of not going the passion from the top to the bottom of the company. However, you want to keep the company flat in the structure, in the communication, but it's some kind of impossible to do it when you're growing with a faster and faster steps, and really, that's maybe the hardest thing that we have to manage in the company.
I noticed that the passion goes way down if the team doesn't have the clear vision of what's happening. Yeah. And it's sometimes really hard to communicate, especially if you don't have the time. But I've allocated 20% of my week, every week, on making sure that each member knows where we're headed, why we're doing what we're doing, what's the plan for 3 months, what's the plan for the next 2 years. So this has been a key factor in making sure that our team keeps being motivated, keeps knowing that we're doing something, that we're growing, that we have a path. Because the moment you let your team lose the path, or at least the sight of the path, is the moment where you lose their passion as well.
We've had a lot of challenges and tough moments, but actually I have a kind of a mindset that it's part of the game, and whatever you're doing, like if you want to do something great, you always have challenges at tough moments, and it's kind of not a real challenge actually for me that we had challenges to find funding, or for a couple of months we weren't able to find a developer we needed, like for half a year or even more, like a senior one, because we had the problem with who are you?
Now we have endless developers.
Now we have, before that it was really difficult when no one knew who Enhancv is. And I think the biggest challenge was this summer, like in May, when I saw that like the motivation in people was fault, like maybe because of because we weren't able to find the developer, who respectively the product development was really slow, and another thing was that like everyone, I saw that everyone is not feeling as how it was like half a year ago, let's say. And exactly what he said, I just talked with everyone. I'm trying to do it constantly, but like I kind of didn't notice how critical the situation was, and I knew that something should happen, like something should change. Normally, when people aren't happy, and like when most people aren't happy, something major should change. And then we decided, we took the decision to rewrite actually our platform, because like one of the biggest problems was that whenever they added a new feature, because it was in the beginning we built it fast in order to make an MVP and to validate things. But there was one moment that we should, like, it was such a mess behind, and when we added a new feature, 3 others broke,
Yeah.
and that was really, like, that slowed the work even more. But then we went on, we were the best testers of Power Week. I don't know whether you've heard it, but it's basically a concept of going with your whole team somewhere in the nature and work for 1 week in the nature in a really nice villa, and having fun. Again, work is the main priority there.
Yeah.
And then we kicked off started our new platform, and actually I saw that everyone were like, before that they were kind of, no matter that we had money in the bank account, like, it's not the money that will make the product, it's the people, and the product itself is the most important thing.
We actually had a similar situation where we changed direction, and basically we decided that the thing that we were doing, the personal task manager, was not going to be, we're not going to work on it anymore, and we're going to continue in a different market. Obviously, like, this is kind of a shocking news to people that have been working on it, and it's in a way it's exciting, but it's also demotivational, because all the work that's been done, it's irrelevant. So we had that transition period where we were trying to figure out, okay, we want to move into enterprise, but what exactly is going to be the product, who's going to be the target audience, and we took exactly a week off, the office, where we packed our things and we went on a company retreat, where it wasn't the day-to-day work that we would be doing, but it was more like, taking these brainstorming sessions together, and everyone would come up with ideas. And I think that for us that made a big difference, because people felt once again that they're part of that. Can you think about things that in your experience are a no-no when it comes to company culture?
Well, for example, I disagree a bit with Georgi on the fact that friends and all that. I, for example, could never be friends with my team, and I realize that, and that's perfectly fine. That's how it should be, in my perspective. So for me, a big no-no, which I had to learn the tough way, was, where do I put the balance in the relationship? When am I the boss? When am I, the person who's developing stuff with them side by side? So for me, a big no-no is overstepping my position. So for example, when we have, we usually play Dixit in the office at least once a month. We go and get drinks at least once a month. So every time, for example, I know that at some point I should leave. Or all of my partner, we should leave, and we should have the opportunity for the team to bond among themselves. So that was a no-no on my side. In terms of the team, I would say that a no-no is, well, to be honest, it was more about the team structure, because we changed several people in the last 3 months, and it was very turbulent. We grew now with different people, but it was a big no-no was when to make the decision, okay, you know what, you're just not the right fit in the company, we should make that change. And how to handle the whole team dynamic when such a thing happens. So I don't know if it's a no-no, but it was definitely a challenge.
So what did you do in that situation?
It was really strange, because the person that we had to let go is a person who we actually really like as a person. But we had reached the point where we can't, for example, because we work with hours. We work with packages and we work with hours. And our people, we sell with hours. So for example, I can't go to a client and make him pay for 14 hours of something which is worth 2 hours just because the team member doesn't produce. So at this point we have to say, okay, this team member just cannot go with the team structure anymore. It just doesn't happen. And we did that. And then the team, I guess, we didn't really inform them the right way, although we thought we did. With the creative team, I informed our art director. I told her 2 days in advance, okay, this is happening, just let you know, these are the reasons. Handle it with the team, let me know when I should talk to the team, you know them as a team dynamic more. Anyway, we thought we handled it, turns out we didn't. The day after we let go that person, the whole team comes to work and it's just no energy. Everybody's like with the head down. I can see that nobody wants to be in the office.
Yeah.
And I panic. I have no idea what to do in that situation. And 2 hours later, I call Olaf, who's not in the office usually, as I am, and say, Olaf, this is, something's wrong. Like, the team is not the team anymore. I don't know what to do. Like, they're sad, they're not motivated. And he drops everything, comes to the office, we sit down in an open table discussion, and we explain on our side, as our positions as people who are running the company, what we did, why we did it, the reasons behind it, the new direction. For an hour long, the whole team started debating and discussing, and turns out they just had no clue what was happening, and that was the problem.
Yeah.
And this was exactly the pivotal moment where I said, okay, I've lost my way, I need to make it. And that's when I made the decision. 20% of my week is making sure that I know what's happening with my team. So,
Have you had situations like that, Tunio, where
One, maybe kind of this. Before some months ago, I had a lot of operational stuff to finish, and that was continuous more than several months, and it was kind of when I stopped to talk with my colleagues. And the final result is that the motivation and the passion straight down, and you can see how the people are coming and working like 9 to 6 with no idea why to do this, and just for the job and just for the salary. And the solution was to find a new colleague, an assistant, to help me with some operational stuff that can be handled by other people that are not so major and can do it by someone else. And that was how I figured out to find more time for the team, more time for the colleagues, to speak with them, to have conversation, to explain everything related to the company, to the product. And you know, when you find out the right people in the right colleagues, and you speak with them maybe more often, it's the way how the information goes through all the colleagues in the company. Yeah. And I start to find out this time and to speak with the particular people, and the final result is how can you see the motivation and the passion and everything. It starts to grow up again and again, and you see how the people became more creative, more with more passion about the product, about the company. They come with more ideas how to improve the product, etc. And all of this is in this small thing, and that's to speak with the people.
We always leave some time for talking, but like chit chatting. Like, And don't forget to do it, because it's really hard to make it persevere in the long term. Like, okay, say okay, now I should start talking more with them, not only about work, but after a month you start talking with them only about work, and it's important that to be a constant process. Like, to have times where you just talk, and it's maybe playing table tennis or drinking beers or just playing the board games. It's a good time when you kind of are able to talk. But yeah, personal talks are always more sincere and more deep. And yeah, what I will say also is, like, whenever something good happens, tell it, but not. Yeah, one-on-one is okay as well, but it's better to tell it in front of everybody. And when something bad happens, I'd rather say it offline.
you should never let your team know how stressed you are, ever. Because sometimes I tend to be an emotional person, and that shows. So, for example, if I'm because we're not funded by VC, I'm the person along with Olaf who brings in the client, manages all the budgets. So for me, the big stress every month is, oh shit, am I gonna have enough money to pay everybody? Like, do these people rely on me? And all these other things. And I handle 20 different things. And when I come to the office, all of this should go away. The moment I step into the door and I see a team member, they should not feel this in my eyes, in my tone of voice, nothing. If they do, they become stressed out and they don't know what's happening, and the whole team dynamic goes to waste completely. So I've been working very, very hard specifically at this. No matter how stressful I am, never short.
It's really very important to find the right moment when you have to leave.
Yeah.
And to leave them, to be alone, to speak together with no presence of the management staff, maybe something like this,
Yeah.
but people to be together and you have only to manage to bring them together to a party or to some kind of sport or activity, and to find out the right moment when you have to go. And that's maybe this little thing that are going to make them more like with more better relationships and more better like a family, and they can speak even more confident in themselves without the presence of the managerial teams.
3 things that stand out from all that about, creating a great culture. One of them is, that element of purposefulness. The fact that everyone should understand why are they doing that, to really grasp the vision, to be informed always, and to understand why certain decisions that appear to be tough are made. And connectivity. I mean, all of our companies have many different ways to connect people to each other. Enhancv has, all the extreme sports going on. You have
But
just.
they still are alive, all of them.
Oh yeah, which is a very interesting thing. Like, I guess you're not so concerned
Once
about
we're going to
employee
join.
lifetime value.
Maybe they're just doing it right.
Yeah. And you have your quirky weird things that everyone shares, and the table tennis, the games. Like, each one of our companies has a thing that gets people to connect, so they can feel that they belong to that. And the last thing that we actually didn't talk a lot about it, you mentioned a little bit about it, it's like appreciation. You mentioned about your key performance indicators, or it was a different name that you used.
Objective key results.
Objective key results. That sounds even more managerial. But for example, one thing that we do at Swipes is every week we held an appreciation meeting where everyone is free to express the things that they appreciate in the work of the others. So for example, I would appreciate Raditza on the amazing blog posts that she has written. The guys from the hacking room are gonna appreciate each other about all the work.
Always each other.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
I appreciate Stefan sometimes.
But also it's something that's so basic, but just a simple bravo goes a long way. I have experienced that myself. Like Raditza told me the other day, "Wow, you're really good at research." I felt so flattered. And it's these 3 things: appreciation, connectivity, and purposefulness are really the cornerstones for making a happiness at work culture.
But you have to find a way that you have to change this radically, because if something became too ordinary and too familiar, the magic is already gone with this.
You're right about
if
that.
you do this every week, it's at one point it will become something which is so ordinary that no one can handle it or want to hear about it anymore.
It is in a way we need to spice it up a little bit, to figure out new ways of doing it.
Yeah.
We did try. I was trying out just to put a different soundtrack in the beginning, and then have a really presentation, American show thing going on, just so we don't fall into a routine.
But maybe it also depends on the period the company is having, somehow the time itself, because for exactly now this works here in this team, in this format. And maybe if there are more people or if there are less people or if we're in a different office, it would make sense, yeah. But you're right, probably with time it gets kind of normalized, yeah.
I think that overall, like we had like we covered right a great range of topics. I am so happy that all of you came, and I think that it's really a great opportunity and a great responsibility that we have for our community and for our country to bring something new on the table, to bring something good, and to create something of meaning that inspires others. We can see that with with our friends and people that are not in the startup environment. They're really amazed and they're like, "So you do that at work? You can, like they are amazed at how flexible things are, how casual are, and I think that we should do more of that." So I don't have more wise words to say.